This one's exciting! One of you had asked that I do the makeup look I had for my Diva Curl Super Cream review, and it just so happened that day I played with cream contouring. So this is how I apply cream contouring, and there are several techniques and several ways you could apply. I genuinely feel that no one is good at applying cream contour out the womb. Like, it is in nobody's genetic code. Practice, practice, practice. And I was like, maybe you don't want to be good at it, and that's fine. If you find that applying powder is just a lot more feasible, a lot more accessible, then keep with the powders. If you want to learn how to do cream contour, the reasoning that I feel it's so trendy or people want to know how to apply is that it gives a more natural finish on the skin. Because it is a cream, it will apply, blend a lot more like skin, more so than a powder would. So maybe perhaps that's why people just want to learn how to do it. I wanted to keep it more on the natural side. You'll see though, I applied powder on top because I just wanted to set it and make it last all day. I will let you know during the tutorial where you can stop and just set it with a translucent powder to have it more look like skin, more natural rather than like super contour, like whoa. I did the eyes too, just to keep it similar to the look I did on that Super Cream review. I used some different products, but generally this look is the same. All about that application and that blending. So if you want to know how I achieve this look and how I apply my cream contour, then please keep on watching. Let's get to rolling. First, priming with Becca Cosmetics and Jaclyn Hill's Champagne Pop in their Shimmering Skin Perfector. Just on the cheek area, chin, and forehead, keeping away from my nose as I do get very oily there. And also, I did my brows off camera because I am the worst at making these makeup tutorials. They are so long, trying to make them shorter. For foundation, using Too Faced Born This Way in Honey and applying with a beauty blender. I would say a pump is enough. Probably too much because this is a really great foundation. It provides super great coverage. So I'm just gonna dab and start going in, starting with the center of my face. Yeah, I barely touched that dab and it's doing pretty well so far without me going in a second time. And I'm also going down a little bit on the neck just so it all looks one color. Now for the contour part. There are several ways in which you can go in and apply your contour. I like to use this concealer. I use the Urban Decay Naked Concealer for my highlights. And then I use the NARS Radiant Cream Concealer for my contour. And I found I was most successful using these products. You can use a foundation stick, you can use another liquid foundation that's lighter or darker, you can apply with a brush, you can apply with your fingers. There are so many ways. I have tried several of them and I found I was more comfortable using these products and using this brush. And you'll see this again when I go in with my contour. So what I like to do is first apply my contour and then I go in with my highlight shade. The Radiant Cream for NARS is in the shade Cafe. And because it is very liquidy, not very, but more liquidy than a cream would, I only go to the half point. And that's because when you start blending, it will travel down. And if you apply it straight out from the tube to the middle of your eye, it will travel too much and then you'll have to worry about buffing it out and blending, la la la. So to make this as easy as possible, always start with very little product. If you need more, then you'll put in more. I like to feel the cheekbone area and then just right under, I apply the concealer. And again, we're just going that much and you'll see that's all you'll need. When you start to blend, it'll go down just where it needs to go. Let's hurry some away. Other places you can contour are also the forehead. If you have a very large forehead, then you'll bring it as in a rainbow so it will recede and look smaller. If you have a small forehead, I will leave it alone or else it'll just look abnormally small and no forehead there for you. I like to just put it on the tops right here, like the corners, and just by the hairline. I don't touch my nose. I wait until I use a powder for that because I am terrible with cream contouring on the nose. I go in a little on the chin, just some darts here to carve out that shape. You could also go on the jawline. I don't because I could barely see it. I will recommend though, we'll go in with the powder just so it can all look together, but to eliminate the makeup, because this is already a ton, I just keep it where I need it the most. Now we'll go in with our Urban Decay Naked Concealer, and this is in the shade Medium Neutral. I love this formula. It does not crease. It goes on like a dream, and it's really beautiful. And I know I have used the NARS under my eye. The NARS creases a little bit. I just like to use it on my face because it's still a beautiful formula as it is still radiant, so everywhere else it looks magnificent. In triangular motions. Under the eye. Down the bridge of the nose. On the forehead. Cupid's bow. And the chin. Why don't we just leave it like this? I mean, pattern on fleek. Now, for the best part, the most stressful one is the blending. I like to use my Enigma Pure flat top kabuki brush as a short handle, so I feel I have more control, and the head is actually pretty small for a kabuki brush, so I feel it hugs this area of my face very well. I like to go in on an angle, and you always want to think up. So we'll start patting in, and you gently press and go up, up, up. When you go down, it is a wrap. There's your 5 o'clock shadow for free. So just continue high on the cheekbone, and when you start to press, just keep going up, up, gentle dabs with the brush. And the reason I like to go in with the contouring first with blending is that if you do go too far down, if you go too far down towards your mouth, towards the jawline, you can use the highlighter shade to kind of buff out those mistakes. Then we go in on the other places on our face where we place the contour. And you can never blend enough. When you think you're done, you're probably not. Up, 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 up. Just think up. Never down. Never go down. I always do a better job on this side, but you know what? We're gonna work through this together, you guys. On the chin, I just use the edge of the brush to press that pigment in to make sure you blend, blend, blend. Contour is blended, and now we'll blend the highlighted part. For this, I like to go with my beauty blender and just start under the eye, pressing the concealer in. See how it spreads? Any mistakes that occurred while blending in your contour will be fixed. And if you feel you could blend out a little more, I like to take the butt of the beauty blender and just go over where the highlight and contour meet and just press that section in. Not bad. This is coming along. Cupid's bow and the chin. And this is where, with the butt of the beauty blender, going in back all over to make sure those concealers are well blended. All right. Pause. Cream contouring, although takes a lot more steps, a lot more blending, ends up being more natural looking than a powder would. And that is because of the formula. Because it is a cream, it's going to blend into the skin a lot better, easier than a powder would, so it's going to give more of a natural effect. If you're good here, you will just set your whole face. It is a cream, and if you're oily like myself, you will set it so it won't move. You could put in some blush, some highlighter, you could leave your brows, some mascara, and you're done, because the cream is just going to enhance the natural contours of your face. If you're like me and you want to do that look you saw on my Diva Curl Super Cream review, Then let's continue. I'm a believer of bulletproofing my makeup. I have 12-hour days. This needs to stay on. It doesn't need to move. So this is why I will bake. I go in with my Chanel loose powder, and this is in the color 30 Natural Translucent 2. I take about this much, and with the same damp beauty blender, I go in the powder, and this is where we bake that concealer. I know this is a lot of makeup. These are the steps I take to create this look. If we want to discuss how we can make it less, we'll discuss. I have no problem with that. Under the eyes, bridge of the nose, middle of the forehead. Now, to cut the contour and make it more defined, this is where I go in with the actual puff. I feel it creates a sharper angle more so than the Beauty Blender does. Dipping into that same powder, and then with the edge of the puff, I just bake right under the contour shade. And we need more powder. That's better. This is what we want to see. We want to see that runway of justice. Why do we do this, you ask? Making sure that concealer stays on, radiant, and on point. Once we've applied our powder, now we'll go in and set the cream contour part. I like to go with my RCMA powder first to set the cream color, and then I go in with a powder contour to further enhance that part of my face. You do not have to do that. If this is enough, this is enough. And again, this is what I did that day for the makeup look. Any pointed powder brush will do. This is the Morphe E3, and this is the RCMA No Color Translucent Powder. Very light dusting, just to set that contour shade. I'm barely going over it, so it's not sticky. And then I also go on the tops of my forehead, where that cream color also was applied. In my last video, I used the Kat Von D Shade and Light contour palette, but because I'm a little tan, I decided to go in with the Urban Decay Naked Skin Ultra Definition Powder Foundation in Dark Neutral. It's a very lovely brown shade, and I thought it complemented the NARS Radiant Concealer color well. So I'm going in with a crown brush. This is their Pro Dome Blender in C437. Just a couple of dabs. We're simply setting the cream shade and bulletproofing it for later. I start high on the cheekbone where it is and just carefully start to brush down. And then I start to brush up. Don't worry if you begin dusting away the bake. It is going to be brushed off soon. So you're good. I also take it on the temples, also the tops of my forehead. Another good one to use is the Balm's Bahama Mama. That's a really lovely neutral brown shade that I think will go well with the Radiant Concealer. Now this is where I contour the nose with the same shade and the same brush. I just take some on the edge and I dab off a little bit, and I just carefully brush on the sides of my nose. I'm the worst nose contour because I don't care about it that much. It's just so that color-wise everything looks cohesive. People take a really long time contouring their nose. I'm just trying to be like, I'm just gonna slap it on there, hope for the best. It'll be fine. I think we're good, so we're going to now brush off our bake. This is the opportunity where, since we have some loose powder on the brush, to just kind of buff out your contouring work so it looks like skin and well blended. If you want to still contour the jawline, I take the same blender brush and the same Urban Decay shade and just go right under the jaw and a little down the neck to add those lines. You guys, I'm so sorry about my mustache. It is so offensive and I apologize. I haven't been to my threader and I'm just letting it live. So it's there, hi. Might as well just grow a beard. We're set and ready to go, and we'll continue on with our highlight and blush. My look was fairly matte that day, so for highlighter, I'm going in with the Hourglass highlighter powder in Brilliant Strobe. It looks sparkly in the pan, but it goes on super luminous and not sparkly at all. So if you're not into highlighters but still want that effect, this is a keeper. Any tapered brush will do. This is my Luxie 522. I go in across so many mirrors, just to the tops of my cheekbones. And see how that's just like brightens up the area without looking too sparkly? It's a beautiful powder. Hourglass makes some dope products. Bridge of nose, Cupid's bow, chin, and just to the center of my forehead. If you want more, you could go in with another highlighter. I ain't stopping ya. Highlight your life away. For blush, I would like to keep the contour the star of the show. So taking a Morphe E4 and again, Hourglass's product, this is their blush in Diffused Heat. I'm going in high on the cheekbone. So not so much on the apples of my cheeks, but more where that contour shade is. And I like to press it in. Some on the forehead and chin, just everywhere. Blush everywhere. Because we went in with a ton of powder using Max Fix Plus to set the face. This is it. This is how I apply cream contour. As for my eyes, I'll just run you through that very quickly. A little bit of primer. Just some loose powder to set the primer. For the eyes today, I'll use Tartelette's In Bloom eyeshadow palette. Going in with a fluffy crease brush. This is from Morphe and it's the E27. I use this neutrally beige shade. Smarty Pants. Combining Smarty Pants with Rebel. Just taking that to the crease. And I pull it out a little bit. To deepen the crease area a little more, from the same palette, I go in with my Luxie 231, a little blendy brush, and with the color leader, just to the outer corner of my eye. Working that shade in with Smarty Pants and Rebel. I'm doing my eye makeup after as it is not super heavy. If I were going in with a smoky eye, I would do the eyes first and then go in with my complexion. But since we're keeping it light today on the lids, doing eyeshadow after is totally fine. Just to add some pizzazz to the brow bone and inner corner, going in with Funny Girl in this little dome shader brush. I have no idea what it is. The label's totally rubbed off. If I remember, I will give those details down below. If you want to give just some highlight to the lid area, I go in with this, any large shader brush will do. This is the Smith 256 in the beige shade Flower Child, and I go with that on my lid. For the rest of the eye, I will be right back to apply wing liner and lashes. Alright, we're back! I applied my wing liner with Kat Von D's Tattoo Liner. I also applied, ooh, I don't have them! Red Cherry Lashes number 43. Also the Makeup Forever Excessive Lash, their new mascara I got in my little Ipsy bag, which I really love. I applied on my lower lashes and also applied on my own, so fake lashes and my lashes all look just like lashes. For lips, we're going in with a liquid lipstick. I want to keep it nude for the lips. Smashbox's new liquid lipsticks in Always On. I love this formula. It goes on so smooth. It doesn't make my lips feel dry and it lasts long. And I love the applicator is in a little triangle, so it makes it really easy to apply on the edges. And that's the finished look. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this helped. Again, you can take this makeup look wherever you like. You can keep it on the lighter side or go in more on the heavier side. Regardless, I found that using these products and these brushes helped me obtain the best looking cream contour look out of all products I tried. If you have any questions, please ask me down below. If you have a product that you've been working with and want to figure it out, let me know, and maybe if I have it, we'll figure it out on here. Have a good one all, and I'll see you on the next one.